I will go around the course or so. Let's go.
Oh, jeez.
I ain't got the saddle down here. I put it on.
Is this how I get rid of the front porch?
Yeah. Yeah. Daniel, I've been around here a long time. I mean, a lot of people, well, I don't remember this, they'll say, I asked them, I said, what's wrong with you? I mean, your brain's supposed to work a little bit. All they think about anymore is dope. Dope and a damn telephone. I heard these women say, well, what did you do before they had a telephone? What did people do? I said, I'll tell you what they done without. Mm-hmm. We didn't have no power in here in 49. You know, and that coal bank took care of everything. That water was about 56 degrees. Oh, yeah, that's what that is out there. It comes out of a mountain out there where I drink, 56 degrees. That thing's supposed to be hanging right here somewhere. You can't buy these cats no more. Let's see, what, yeah. You can't buy these caps. These is like the late 40s, 50s, and 60s. You can see where the slate broke all that rim off, and that's where your light holder, the line was passing on to come across your head, and then here, and Carbide gave me a new one, but they were all white. These is a low crown. That's the reason everybody wanted them. I don't never bothered. That's probably the first time it's been touched in 10 years. I was covered up with this cap on. Passed down in, they had me mashed down in beside that big loader. It was a high vein. It stopped that most you had my head mashed between my legs. It busted my clothes. My chest turned yellow first, and then it turned green. That's the reason my neck cracks. And so, oh yeah, it sounds like broken glass down it from where that done it. Oh yeah, it was for, what, 2 weeks I couldn't get my hands up to feed myself. I worked right at 25 years for Carbide. I missed 6 shifts in 25 years. 2 of them was on account of death in the family. I'll tell you what burns me up, Daniel. They go through these schools, claim they got a good education. I've seen them in the 10th and 11th grade, didn't know what's the end of the world at the sun come up in and what's that. And asked them, well, where does the sun come up in? And they said, well, I don't know, it comes up in the gut north, I guess. I said, what the hell's wrong with you? I said, what did they learn you? When we went to school, you learned reading, arithmetic, spelling, English, geography, and history, and they learned you how to raise food. Mm-hmm. And now, I bet you they ain't 2 out of 100 to go down there and take that plow and plow that ground up and raise them a garden to eat off of it. I mean, they don't, and they won't do nothing. You find one once in a while out of that. I'm going to put this log in the hell. Maybe it won't run no more, I won't have to cut. Them taps and the lights up here on the porch. I'm a Becky fan. I thought it was going to rain. I probably will for us over there. Oh, I couldn't figure out what I had in my pocket.
You all right with her?
You've got my gadget.
Yeah. I'll get them out here then before you're out there. Hello.
I guess it's about the best way. You just have to watch for snakes.
Right.
They have black snakes, copperheads, and rattlesnakes here. We had, when we was kids, until Dad put water in the house, that was after I left home in 1974, there's an abandoned coal mine right out here to the left of us where we're standing, and we used to have to carry water up this hill. And we would, Saturday was wash day, we carried water all day long in 2-gallon zinc buckets. Showing him the old coal mine where we got the drinking water from, Dan.
Yeah. Right in there, huh?
Right there, yeah. But like I told him, the pipe stuck out further.
You tell him how wide that schoolhouse bottom used to be down there?
Nah.
It used to be the whole road and the creek and all. The creek went over again the hill and the road. To the right side there was a log dump there where a dinky engine used to come up there and haul the logs out. I had 2 cars. Hauled down to almost into Dixie Smith Hall.
When did you move here?
I've been here all my life. I was born here.
Where were you born at?
Right down there in that old house. October the 14th, 1933. I was gone just, 4 years?
About 4 years.
Yeah, when we was in Cleveland.
I was born in Cleveland.
And
Kennedy.
Road Hospital.
So you're born in 33, right?
Yeah.
What did this look like in 33?
It was all farmed. That everything from here to the top of that mountain
all the way up.
was in corn. Some of it was beans planted in it. You had to raise everything. This was right when I come up, it was in the Hoover's time. You couldn't get nothing to eat. I mean, these people down here now, they don't know what hard time was. I mean, if you didn't raise it, you didn't get it because there wasn't no work. And nobody had no money to buy stuff with. You raised all your food, you raised corn and stuff for the cattle. We had 2 milk cows, and we had the chickens, and 2 hogs. So we had our meat, milk and butter, and eggs. No power. Right there where that water comes out, we used to go inside there. And we had that water dammed up about that thick, and that's where the milk stayed in there.
Keep it cool in there?
Kept it cool, and about twice a week we had to churn. We had our own butter. And as plus the garden stuff we raised, here, well, I don't know, I was maybe 8 years old. I started helping Grandpa wear in the garden.
Maybe, Dad, maybe you told me that when the mine wars was up here in the 30s, 2030s, were they fighting up in these areas? Because these were all mines.
Yeah, they shot in there drifting off right there.
Really?
From right over yonder on that point.
So they were up there and shooting down into here?
What they called the thugs. He looked on down and he said, James, he said, I see for these 2 years you didn't work. I said, no, sir. He said, what did you do? And I thought, well, if I tell him, he ain't gonna harm me. And if I lies to him and he finds out, he'll farm me. So Lane Johnson and Jack Knight started electing. They were sitting on them tables. And old Jerry sitting there looking at me. I said, well, he said, I know you had a family. I said, yeah, and I had to keep Mommy and Daddy and my little brother. And he's sitting there looking at me. I said, I made moonshine whiskey and hauled it into West Charleston and sold them colored people. I was just scooting down in a chair. I knowed he was going to say, he looked at me real close. He said, I'll call you a Tuesday evening, and that's exactly what he done. I used to take it to work with me down on Friday night. Yeah. Herman Conrad, Sam Saul got drunk and run that old scout in the creek. On Monday, we went back to work, and Wayne called me aside. He said, Boner, he said, next time just bring one pint. He said, that boss is going to get killed. He said, I ain't got no more. He said, just bring one pint. Yeah, I made it up in the hollow there.
Up there somewhere?
Yeah. I went to the narrow Cedar Grove with 3 gallons of whiskey. It was my grandpa, Charles Hudnall. They were young men. But anyway, this guy was going with that woman. Well, young woman. But anyway, she gave Grandpa a letter to give him. Well, Grandpa opened the letter. The guy that was supposed to get the letter, that guy was mean. So he told him that he was going to whoop Grandpa. So he was bailing water in the mines on the midnight shift, and Grandpa slipped up behind him in the dark and knocked him in the head with a spray and killed him, and they thought a mule kicked him and killed him. So he left over and come back over here then. I don't know, I guess he was 19, maybe 20 years. I think him and Grandma was 21 when they got married, and that was before that.
Pretty mean dude, huh?
You didn't fool with him. And if he got to drinking, he was worse than that. I've seen him drunk. And Mommy kept getting after him, so finally he quit. And they'd get out there at 10, 11 o'clock at night and rock that house, knock it full of holes, that rubber roid dripping. But anyway, he was out there with that double barrel, had mule year hammers on it. All that brace and stuff wasn't in there. And they started up a bank there, they was going to throw rocks. And he told him, he said, the first rock comes, he said, I'll kill all 3 of you. They didn't throw no more rocks. Yeah, they didn't throw no more rocks.